Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and I am here to share two different style journals that I created using the Red, White, and Bloom kit from Picaboo Creek Designs on Etsy. I will leave links below in the description box for where you can find the kit to use, and check out her store because she's got lots of other fun kits and collections, clip arts, papers, you name it. She has all kinds of fun stuff in her store, so check her out. Um, so I used the Red, White, and Bloom kit to create these two journals. One is the first one here is a little one, and I used a ribbon closure with Tim Holtz little buckle on it to keep it closed. And then this one, I used some buttons and lace trim to keep that one closed. So let me show you the little one first, and then I'll go through the bigger one. So this measures roughly 5 inches wide by 6 inches tall. I think maybe it's 5 1/4 by 6 1/4, something like that. And I bind it together with some blue and white seam binding here, so that's what holds the whole thing together. This just comes undone and unbuckled, and I thread it underneath that so it stays attached to it, but that's all there is to it. Simple as that. The cover of my journal, I used a die cut card that I had in my stash. I thought it would be really fun to use that. There's a little bit of glitter on these cards and some gold foiling, and some iridescent foiling and embossing. It's very textured and pretty. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a greeting card that I had that I used for my cover. So on the inside, I used some of the pattern paper to create pockets, and I just followed the shape and cut it out to that. This is one of the beautiful printable ephemera pieces in the kit. Really cute little 4th of July flower cluster on the top hat. And it's just blank on the back, so you could do journaling or add a picture or whatever you want there. Oh, I forgot to put something in these. I'll have to do that after. But this is just a little bag that I had that I cut both ends off and hole punched it to make a pocket, so you could put something in there. I have these fun vintage looking coffee stained doilies, and this is one of the pre-made pockets in the kit. Now, in order to get this size, what I did was I took the journal pages that are in the kit and I shrunk them down and printed them 2 to a page, so they came out to be 5 by 7, and then folded in half. They're 3 by 4, something like that, whatever it is. So on here, I printed out lots of the ephemera in the kit to stuff in the pockets. This little design is in the kit. These are all much larger if you print them full size, so just know that these are not the actual size of them in the kit. I shrunk them down. I used that same lace that I tied it closed with to decorate all of the tags and whatnot, and I just stapled my lace onto it with a rose gold paper clip. I thought that looked kind of cute. So there's a tag in there, and then there's a mini tag, and then there is also one of these cute little signs that says All American Fireworks Company. So I thought that was cute. Now this page, what I did was I cut around the flowers to make it into a pocket, and then there's these cute little seed packs in the kit. So I stuffed one of those in there. So what I did with this is this paper is from the kit. This paper is from the kit. So once I fussy cut around it, I glued it onto this to create the pocket. So it's 2 papers glued together. Here's another cute little tag in the kit. There's some beautiful little images with sweets and drinks and desserts and florals. So I really love this kit. And I'm so happy because, of course, this year is America's 250th birthday celebration. So I wanted to have something special to record my memories in. So I made this into a tuck spot. This is another little ephemera in the kit. That's a cute little lemonade drink with a flag in it, very patriotic. There's little tabs in the kit that I thought were perfect for in here. There's little butterflies that I cut out and little labels. Another beautiful page in the kit there. This is some of the background papers in it. Another butterfly. This is a side pocket in there, and I have a longer tag that I created there. If you printed these full size, these would be great for bookmarks too. And then I just had some other little pieces and I didn't know what to do with them, so I just made tiny little tuck spots and places you could write. So this is one of the other little cards in the kit with some of the background paper, and I just had this scrap of tea-dyed paper. I did coffee dyed, tea dyed, I'm not sure which it is, that I didn't want to throw out, so I just created a little something to stick in that pocket. Another beautiful page in the kit here, and a book page that I glued one of the ephemera pieces onto. Another beautiful page. She did a beautiful job on this kit. I love all of the floral with the red, white, and blue patriotic theme, so love the banners here. These were some of the circles in the kit, and I just added it to the side of the page like a tab, and then glued another one on the back. There's that beautiful image that I used before, but on one of the journaling pages. Another beautiful banner here. This is one of the ephemera pieces in the kit. And in here, again, I had a scrap of coffee dyed paper that I used just a bunch of the background papers. There's a trim that's like washi tapes that you can cut apart, so that's what those are, and then one of the circles in the kit. And on the inside, then I just glued a Happy 4th of July and a crate full of firecrackers. And these fold out so you could do journaling and pictures on there. And the back is blank. And that just goes in there. And another beautiful banner page, and the dragonfly. That's what sold me on this kit, was the dragonfly. Love dragonflies, can't get enough of them, and when I saw this I had to use it in the kit. And there's a tiny little postage stamp on that coffee dyed paper there. Another beautiful journaling page. The teacups with the flowers, so cute. This is one of the pre-made pockets, and I just glued that down and then stuck in 2 of these tiny little tags. And these are mostly just for decoration, for fun, but I love them. Little teeny tiny stuff. Another background paper in the kit. And then this is another page that I cut around it to make a pocket. And another one of the signs in the kit. And this actually shows 1776 to 2026 for the 250 years. So I wanted to incorporate that. And cute little butterfly there on some notebook paper. Another embellishment there. And a tiny tab. And this is the center, that's where I bind the seam binding in. I'm sorry, twine, not seam binding. And this is another little page that I made into a pocket and stuffed this adorable little Patriot Tea and Coffee Company. And beautiful little service of tea set with the patriotic theme on it. There we go. And this is one of the circles, and I made that into a tuck spot, and there's these adorable little ticket strips, so I put that in there. That could be used elsewhere, you know, if I want to stick a picture in there instead. This is one of the tiny little labels, and I made that into a tuck spot with one of the cute little tags in it that I shrunk down. That beautiful tea service. Beautiful borders. Here's another tuck spot of the cupcake. Here's a tuck spot with a shrunk down tiny little bingo card. Beautiful butterflies in the kit. So butterflies and dragonflies, love them both. Here's another page, journaling page that's pre-made. Here is another scrap of paper I had that I just decided, well, let me make it into something. So I used some of the background papers. I made this one into a pocket and glued an embellishment there. And then this background paper, and I glued one of those tags there. This just flaps up. So it's just, you know, single piece of paper, but the tags keep that flap closed when they're in there. So I have the butterfly and the dragonfly again. And these just go in there. And I said they, you know, they keep that flap closed. And that just goes back in this pocket. And I had these cute patriotic bags. I'm like, oh gosh, I have to use those because they fit the theme perfectly. I've had them for a while and just hadn't used them. Another beautiful journaling page there. Here's another pre-made pocket from the kit. That beautiful cupcake. It looks so yummy. And another one of those could be a bookmark if it printed it full size, but now it's just a mini one. And another one of those cute ticket strips. So that's in there to use. And that's on some coffee dyed graph paper. And then another beautiful page here with the beautiful banners on it. And a little American 250 stamp that I glued to this page next to the flag. There's the beautiful dragonfly again, glued onto a book page. Another beautiful journaling page. more coffee dyed paper, more background paper in the kit, and then journaling pages. And again, more of those circles that I used as little tabs. And then here is the back page with the pocket. And in here is one of those beautiful little two seed packets. So those are fun to have on hand. And a little tag journaling spot there you could put a date on. And then the doily and the pocket in the back. And then again, I covered this with the pattern paper from the kit. And you have a bingo card and a tag and a bigger tag. So that is the little one. I'm going to scooch that to the side so I can show you the larger one. Now the large one, I did the same thing, but with this one, I did something I haven't tried before, and that's journaling pages of all different sizes and lengths and widths, and just to give it this really fun combined look so you kind of see a preview of the journal before you actually open it. I'm not sure where I saw this idea first to give credit to, but I've seen several people doing it lately, and I'm like, I really want to try that. But something I want to think about going forward if I make this journal style again is, before I bind it all together, and I could take it apart and fix this, but I'm too lazy to. So something I thought of to protect this part here that really doesn't have like a sturdier cover on it is that you could use a transparency, a clear transparency, or some kind of plastic packaging that you could take apart just to lay it over it to give it some protection. But again, I don't keep my stuff near food, water, that kind of thing, so I think it'll be okay. So this just comes untied, sewed it on and held it on with a button, and so that opens up. And then over here, let me see the best way to fit this. Okay, so over here I have some of the pattern paper I made into a pocket again, more of the labels. And then in this pocket, this is one of those washi strips that I just glued down there and then cut to the shape. And then here I have two different tags that are different sizes, and there's cute little envelopes in the kit, and the butterflies are on that page, so I put that there. On the back, I used one of the other embellishments as the closure for that, and then inside is a tiny little bingo tag. So that just closes up, and then this comes down and just tucks into there, so you don't have to seal it, you just have that little tuck spot that keeps it closed. And then these just go back in here. In here again, I use those same bags that I had, the red and white polka dot and the blue star one you'll see later. I just had a bunch of scraps, so I made the embellishments to put into there. I put a little tab on it, used up a bunch of the background papers. I punched out some of the papers and shapes, and then used some of the elements I had left, and the back is just there. You could put writing paper over it to write on, or you could put a photo there. Another one of those doilies, and then this beautiful background paper. I did put some lace along the edge of that for decoration. Here I wanted to get the 250 in since that's what we're celebrating this 4th of July, and this is another background paper here. And then this is the full size of one of those beautiful seed packets. And I left them blank on the back for photo or journaling, whatever I decide I want to do there. This is one of the embellishments in the kit. And then this here is just a tag that I thought the butterfly looked like she was flying out of the picket fence with the flowers. And again, just stapling the lace trim onto it. And they're blank on the back, so again, you could journal on them. And that's on the front of a coffee stain envelope that I put a doily on. And then here, this is another one of the pieces of ephemera in the kit, so I just glued that to there kind of as a weight, because what I did was I deconstructed the envelope so that you don't have to worry about sliding something in. All the flaps actually open out for you to put something in it. So in here, I just put a bunch of the different ephemera pieces. There's the Patriot Tea and Coffee, a bingo card, and Liberty Bell Blossom seed packet. And they're all blank on the back for pictures or writing, so I thought that was a fun idea. And then here, this is the first full-size background paper we're seeing that goes above the like 5x4 size of the actual card. So I used those seed packets and I made a pocket here. And in the pocket, I put in a tag from the kit, so that just slides in there. I glued one side to this small strip of paper here, and then the other one on this side, and then just glue on the 3 edges to create the pocket. This is a coffee stain paper. I used one of those washi strips here, and what I did was I left it as a tuck spot. So if I want to put a photo here, this will come up a little bit, and then this lifts up, so the photo kind of sits in there, and then I have that cute little tag I just tucked in there for now. Same thing on this side, cute little tag, the washi strips. I use those washi strips in quite a few places. There's a whole variety of them. They're from florals to stripes to stars, whatever will float your boat. And again, just tucked a little tag in there so I remember that's a tuck spot, but that'd be a cute place to put a bookmark or something. And then this is one of the background papers. I used some vintage ledger that I had, and I decorated that with a little bit of lace for the border and one of those washi strip edges. And this is another background paper in the kit with a tab here and one of the tickets up here that I glued down. I should have thought to glue a ticket on the back so you don't see that white, so I'll have to go back and do that. Another one of the beautiful background papers. I have some coffee dyed paper here, and I just put one of the postage stamps from the kit there for decoration. And then this is what I was talking about. This is the full-size print of that, so it'd be a perfect bookmark. But I kind of used it as a page turner type of thing, so you know that flips open. So I put pattern paper there and glued that down on that side. And then this side, I used more pattern paper, and then I glued one of the embellishments down. Beautiful pattern paper in the kit. More here. This is one of the embellishments, and I put a tag in there with the 4th of July, and this is another embellishment from the kit. And I just added the lace trim on the edge. I have a coffee stain doily here. More of the background paper and washi with a tab here. And more of the background paper. A little stack of books with the patriotic theme on a coffee dyed paper. This is a tuck spot, so you can, tuck something up underneath that. This is another background paper in the kit, and some lace trim added there. And that's the great thing about these big kits of hers, is she offers a full variety of background papers and journal pages, so you have a lot of choices. More embellishments here, and these were mirror image, so what I did was I glued them back to back so that you have that. So I love the butterfly flying off the page. And then a bigger coffee stain doily here, and another really pretty paper with the flowers on it. These are two pre-made pockets in the kit, and then in each one I stuck the patriotic petals seed packets, and then I backed them with, there's these cute little journaling cards. And then I put the 2 different tabs that come in the kit on there so that you would know you had something to pull them out by. So I just thought it made it look cute. So double pockets there, and they could hold plenty more. Graph paper with a little embellishment on it. And then this was just some paper I had left over and scraps, and I thought, well, let me see what I can come up with. So I made this into a pocket. I used one of those full circles, background printed paper, are these 2. This one I just cut with my fancy scissors, and it opens up. So you could put a photo here, you could put paper here with journaling. That just closes up, and then I glued it on the 3 sides to make it into a pocket. And I have another one of those seed packets with just a plain backing on it, so you could do writing or a photo. And I left this up, and I will tell you the reason why, and then I glued down an embellishment there so that you knew it was a pocket. So you can have something really tall in there. Otherwise, if I put it all the way down, you would just see the tab sticking up. So here's the other bag with another one of those large circles. So everything in this journal, I printed it full size of how it was meant to be in the kit. So these are all the full size elements. And then here I have a couple of the postcards that were in the kit. And again, blank on the back so you could write on them. And, I think one's supposed to be in each one of these, not 2 in 1. And then another circle there, fun little lemonade down here. And so the pages that were bigger on this side get smaller going this way, and the ones that were smaller on that side get bigger going this way. So I just thought it was fun. And you could do lots of stuff with these. I mean, you could glue, as you saw in the beginning where I made the pocket, you could glue things to these that stick out. So again, you're going to get those varying widths as you're going out. Another cute little image there. More of the beautiful background paper with the lace here and here. This is another spot that I used as a fold out
So you have this beautiful image with the Lamps and Lighting Company. I love those lanterns. And background paper that I covered that with on the side, so you can put a photo there, you can journal. This is one of the pre-made pockets, and again, another of those seed packets with a little tab and some backing paper. Sorry, I just bumped the camera. Here, I use one of the little ticket strips as a tuck spot. So you have the cute little fireworks poster, and then I back that with some star paper from the kit. And this is a tuck spot again. So again, if you wanted to tuck a photo in there, you have tucks at top and bottom. More of this beautiful background paper and a tab there. And the tabs are big enough, so if you want to use this for multiple years, you could write the year in and then go, you know, that direction for the next year. And so now we're seeing from the other side all the patterns repeating. Here's a ticket and a little 4th of July with some lace trim. More of the paper there. There's a little label here. This is another fold out that I did the same thing as the first one, but it's the other side of it. Here's a tuck spot for a tag. Again, these were extras I had, so I just punched out a circle, put down these strips, added the lace here, and then I did the lantern embellishment on that one. More of the beautiful background paper, more of the washi strip here on the background paper, another tuck spot here. And these are just 2 stamps that I put down. This one can be a tuck spot. Oh, they're both tuck spots. And then I used more of the circle images to create like a tab look there. More of the labels and stamps on that one. Another label there. Isn't that beautiful? Here's another image that I glued down there. More of the paper there. And another pullout that I created just with leftover scraps. And in the final pocket, there is another little tag here with the dragonfly, and then an envelope with the bear embellishment. And again, the little flap that holds it closed with a tiny little seed packet in it. So these are the 2 journals I created. I hope you guys enjoyed the project that I did. And I've inspired you to create your own journal for this year's 250th celebration of America. So I will again leave the links in the description box below for how you can purchase this kit on your own and create something fun for yourself to use or give as a gift. So, all right. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys. I'll be back soon with more projects, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.